Now my hands are warm, and we are live! Whoop whoop!
Huzzah!
Hey, Huzzah!
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
And of course, in three-part harmony.
What's up, everybody? What's
So
up?
harmonious.
Yeah. It's BowtieUP live. You know what to do. Popcorn in hand, drink in hand, butts in seats. It's an hour of edutainment like never before. And it really is like never before because this time we're doing, before we get any further, Free for All Friday. Oh, I'm still in love. There we go. Free for All Friday, where we're just going to let any old chucklehead wander in here and mix it up with us, and don't be the other.
Don't be a chucklehead.
Yeah, but anything you want to talk about, it's Friday. We're all just chilling, ready to have the Memorial Day weekend thing in the States, and then the rest of the world. We finally get a vacation day for once, so
we do.
Well,
I was not aware of this.
Not we as entrepreneurs. No, we're exempt. Holidays and weekends and sleep and all that other
vacations,
stuff. Anyway,
6 days.
Right. We figured that we just open it up and Alex, you're going to put the link in the comments, correct?
Put the link in the comments. I'm way ahead of you, Lee. I just dropped. Well, actually, I was a little bit behind, but I just dropped that link in the comments. What is up, everybody? You guys know what time it is. BowtieUP live. Alex here. How's it going? Much more important than me. I'm not even gonna bother introducing myself. Y'all know who I am. You can ask in the comments if you don't know. I don't know, but you guys got one of the coolest guys ever down here, right below me. Introduce yourself, my boy, the one and only Matthew Perkins.
Thanks, Alex. Brother, it's always a pleasure to be on the show with you and Lee. I mean, you guys are truly inspiring with the stuff that you're doing here and just reaching out, helping people. I love this Freestyle Friday, too, by the way. It's absolutely amazing. Just getting that audience interaction. Everybody's welcome to come in and give them a platform. That's wonderful. As you mentioned, I'm Matt Perkins, and, I'm doing some cool stuff. It's fun. But I don't really like to brag about myself, so I would like to point it right over to our gracious and amazing host, Lee Rowley.
Hey, what's up?
Lee? Wow, my pointing is just like...
Right, and if anybody is hanging out here doesn't know who I am, for crying out loud, I'm Lee Rowley. That's who I am, and that's all you need to know. LeeRowley.com, you need to know that. Other than that, I just hang out here and just annoy people from 4:19-ish p.m. Eastern time until about 5:20 Eastern time, Monday through Friday, here with my good friend and co-host and 3-time winner of the Tech Gnome of the Year award, Alex McDowell.
And thank you for awarding that to me 3 times so far, Lee. I'm humbled by the award.
I think that's
Nishant's in here. Yes, let's go, my boy. We got Nishant jumping in. What's up?
Nishant, what's going on, man?
Hey,
how's it going, man?
Great, man.
Awesome.
Great to see you. So it's great to finally put the face with the name for those of us who've been seeing you in the comments for a while, and you're joining us in the middle of the night from where you are. How are things going?
Well, I'm at the terrace, so I don't disturb others' sleep. Here, take a look.
Oh my gosh, dude, you're straight sitting outside? Is it cold out there?
No, I'm sweating.
Oh, dude, you can see me. I'm in like a straight sweatshirt. Like, I'm actually kind of freezing right now. So it's crazy that you're sweating. Thank you for joining us and being the first person to follow the link. I put your banner up there. Welcome to Nishant. Having fun in this Free for All Friday. I don't even know how many people StreamYard's going to let us have in here. So let's break it. See what we got going on.
Yeah, they told us 6. I don't know what'll happen if we try to fit 7 in. If we all just have to,
Scrunch up a little tighter.
Screw social distancing. We're digital.
Social distancing doesn't count when you're talking over audio waves.
True that.
Someone was working on some software to fix that.
Ooh, softwares are fun. Alex knows.
Yeah, I'm like, to fix what? Audio waves or social distancing or What are we fixing?
People that are added to the video. Also, all the other things.
Oh yeah, that software. Yeah, that's a different thing. That's fun. We hey, so
Sean, we were talking sorry,
guys,
brother.
can I ask you one thing?
Yes.
What
Yeah.
do you think about relationships?
What kind of relationships? Business, personal,
Romantic
love?
relationships.
Hmm?
Romantic relationships.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that you're either going to think that love's a scam or love's the only thing that keeps you going. It's really hard to be in a relationship and be an entrepreneur. Like me and my wife we've been through a lot of really shitty times with me starting my business, just to be straight up, because it's not easy to support somebody when they're going after like this dream that you can't see working out. And that's the hardest
Yeah.
part, is that you're the only one who's going to see your dream. You're the only one who's going to see your vision. And, whoever you're with, they might be able to step into your seat, but they will never
Mhm.
be able to step into your shoes. So as long as you understand that, and you understand that it's an uphill battle, and you guys use each other as sounding boards and to keep each other going and to keep each other strong, there's going to be days where you've had a atrocious day and your wife's had an atrocious day, and you've got to be the bigger one to be like, hey, it's okay, we're going to get through this, like, no matter what. And that it takes a really, really certain kind of person to be able to maintain that, because you're going to get really, really stressed. But that's just my view on it.
Oh, that's really profound. Lee, what do you think about it? Relationships.
Well, Carla and I are coming up on our 21-year wedding anniversary.
Wow.
July.
I'm 21 years old.
21
I'm
years.
22.
Congrats.
You're 21 years old. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So we've been married since you were born or a little before. So, and like Alex, I mean, Carla and I have, and Sam, Carla and I have been through a heck of a lot of challenges, and a lot of you know that we went through losing our only child 7.5 years ago, and all I can say is that the relationship has evolved and ebbed and flowed over time, but just knowing that, like, Carla is the only person I want to enjoy this ride with, has made it all worth it. There are times when she wants to set me on fire, I'm sure, and for good reason. Although, for the record, although I joke about it a lot, she never has made me sleep outside. I always that's one of my big jokes. Is like, okay, maybe I get to sleep inside tonight if I'm good, but no, she doesn't really make me sleep outside. Yeah.
Wow, that
anyway.
is so amazing. That is so amazing.
You'd be prepared to put up with a lot, because people change and they develop really weird affects over the years, and you're just like, wait, where the hell was that before? You never used to be like that. And you can't back it up. You can't justify it as when you're on the other side of it. You're just like, okay, well, people change. This is just something that happened, and so that can create a lot of tension too. So understanding, like water, it's a flow, it's a process. It's not a rigid to a destination. You don't get to a destination in a relationship. That's not what it's about. Just like you don't get to a destination when you're playing music. When you're creating notes, you're not trying to get somewhere. And that's not the point of a relationship either. It's to enjoy the experience and to enhance each other's experience in the world.
Yeah.
Wow, that's phenomenal. See, I'm totally like new. I never had a girlfriend, so I have no idea how these things work. And right
okay.
now,
Even once you have one, you won't know. It's okay. It never starts to make sense, man.
Yeah, I don't think we've really gotten too much into. I mean, we've had the Wednesdays with the wives, which but I think Matthew said you wanted to bring back, right?
Yeah.
Wednesdays with the wives is fun.
I think we had to do another one of those, yeah. But other than that, we really haven't talked too much about that. So this is a really cool topic to get into. It could be like, Oprah, or I could be, who was the other? Springer, I guess, would be a better example of how things might tend to go around here.
wow.
But we can do Springer. That's cool.
Yeah. Matthew, what do you think about it?
About relationships as a whole?
Yeah.
So I'm actually very much in agreement, and I think as Alex touched on, you had the comment profound, and it was like, yeah, exactly, profound. And as Lee said, with the it's a journey, not a destination. So that those both help support my views on it. As far as casual relationships go, I've never really been a big fan. I find them to be a huge drain, and most entrepreneurs I know also don't find casual relationships to be something that resonates with them because it just takes your energy. It saps your energy. This isn't a person that's supporting you. This isn't a person that you see a future or time with. So you're not putting in effort to support them really, and they're not really full on committed to you either. And so if that isn't the situation, it's kind of like what's the point of the relationship to me? Because the whole point is the journey and the commitment to each other to make those crappy days better and to make celebrating those great days all that much better as well.
And I think to add to that as well, one of the other things you have to be mindful of with relationships is your own journey as an entrepreneur is going to take you to places that you never thought you would go. So, I mean, when you're building with somebody, if you're with somebody at the start, they see you at the start. And they see you building, they see you trying to make it, they see you trying to figure it out. They see you when, you're vulnerable and you don't have everything figured out. The longer you go on, the less you don't know, and the more you know that you don't know. You're going to get wiser, you're going to get stronger, you're going to get better at what you do, your prices are going to go up, your life is going to change, your lifestyle is going to change, your expectations are going to change, the way that you communicate is going to change. And getting into a relationship when you're at, like, say, that middle point, it's going to be completely different, because instead of somebody seeing you when you're struggling, when you're vulnerable, when you're available, when you need that support, they're going to see you as this entrepreneur that, you have this mindset, you are doing this, you are driven, you're going kind of like that machine. In the conversations that you have, they're just very different. The expectations that you have are very different. Like, for example, me, like, I've found that I'm a just very, very direct person. Like, when it comes to me entrepreneurially, like, I'm just a no bullshit kind of guy. Like, I'll tell you exactly how it is. If we have a problem, we're gonna talk it out. We're gonna get through it, and you're gonna have to have some of those difficult conversations that you would not have with your significant other. I repeat, you do not have those talks with your significant other. That is not how you phrase it. Because it's someone who works for you. It's not someone that you're paying for their time to do it the way that you want it done. It's someone that is voluntarily staying in your circle, that loves you to death, and you have to remember that. That's very, very difficult, because you are going to become a very, very, I don't even know how to put it. Like, you're not going to bend a whole lot. And people, really expect you to have, some flexibility and some leeway, and you're no longer going to be able to do that. So just make sure that when you are kind of choosing a partner, that it's just like a business partner, man. Like, you got to be in it for the long run. You got to be in it for the right reasons. And you got to know at the end of the day who's responsible for what.
Yep. That is a great point, Alex, right there. Who is responsible for what? Because after you've taken this relationship to the point where it's long term, you're married. This man is married. So now you are in a lifelong partnership with this person. And when you're in a partnership, even in a relationship or a business relationship, it's everybody needs to know their role so that you know what you're doing to support the team and make sure that this is a success. And so it's very, very important to have those conversations with this person. And that's why my advice, like when seeking a relationship, is to go out there, live your life, do your thing. It's fine to keep your mind open to it, because you want to find that person that's going to be your partner and supplement where you're weak and help support you when you're having those terrible times and those down times and keep you driven. But if you don't waste time actively seeking it, because you're going to put out an image that isn't you to attract these people.
It's like cold messaging on LinkedIn. Exactly. Like, it's literally desperate, and they can tell.
Yep. And it's just you're not going to find that partner, which is what you need in life. Otherwise, it's just a drain. So my advice is not to seek that out. It'll come. Keep your mind open to it, and you will find that person that's seeing you. Because at that point, it's not you putting up a front to get this relationship to start. It's them seeing you being who you are and liking that to begin with. And then, like Alex said, that's when you can begin to let that seed grow. Maybe hang out a little bit with them, take them to dinner, spend some time outside of work or wherever you usually met them at. and get to know them better and find out if it's somebody that can complement what you're already bringing to the table and somebody that you can build an actual relationship with. It's not all about a business partnership, but it does become that when you enter that marriage. You're definitely building your lives together. So it's
Right.
the same as building a corporation together. So everybody needs to know their role, and you need to have somebody that you can trust enough to have those. Like Alex said, you can't have those real short, like bam, 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 this is the way it's going to be. It doesn't work that way. But they do need to be somebody that you can have those really deep and tough conversations with. And know that your relationship is still going to be there after the conversation.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, Lee, can I like mix a few things here? Is it possible to have
Okay.
a good like Tinder copy to show whether I am a great fit for you or not? A copywriting gig here for Tinder.
Okay, so were you talking like a sample to show a prospective client?
Where the prospective client is a date.
Oh,
On
the
Tinder.
you're dating the prospective client?
On
I think
Tinder. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I got
like
lost.
copy for Tinder bio.
Oh yeah, you can totally copy for Tinder bio. Lee, dude, I want to see you do some love copy.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. No, I did work a long time ago for one of these how to pick up chicks. Like it was like basically this like $29.95 course that for these guys are like here's this all the secrets the pros know to getting any chick in the bar to come up and and it just like I felt like I needed to take a I think I took a shower after I wrote that copy, and even back then it was just like I needed a hazmat suit, like where is he? Like I felt like my friend Fallout Bob here.
Oh, what the bloody hell? Oh, hello.
Yeah,
Oh, Lee,
so
you and your jobs.
So yeah, I getting into dating copy, like I say, it's just for one thing, I've been out of the dating pool for a long time and would never have any intention of going back into it. And
You don't need to be.
Right.
You're the one who taught us how to copy brands, Lee. We've got to get into avatar immersion. We need to know how to get in touch with these persons. I need to be able to sell this guy on Tinder. We really need to iron out this copy from who's going to be shopping for them. I think we can do it. Doesn't have to be smutty, just has to be clever.
We'll work on it. Yeah, we'll go behind the scenes. We'll see what we can come up with. We'll do a little copy workshop on it. Yeah, maybe I can do that as offer that as part of Copy Brand U, a Tinder.
Tinder booster.
I don't know.
I don't even know how we can sell that. Like we can, but
it will sell like hotcakes. Come on. It will
yeah,
sell like hotcakes.
but will it sell for a lot of money? Would you rather sell 100 different dating subscriptions that you have to write for $29.95 or one for $3,000? I don't want anything I do to sell like hotcakes.
Okay.
Why? You tell me why, Nishant. Because this is something that I've learned, not something that I started out with.
Yeah, okay. Because at one place you are writing 10 copies, so you are putting in 10 times the time.
Right.
So
Are you? Because you could just take an hour for all 10 of them, and then you're only spending 10 hours, or you could spend 10 hours on one.
Then there will be a huge difference on quality.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So why don't I want them to sell like hotcakes? Because hotcakes are cheap as shit. I'm not going to build a fortune off of selling ramen noodles. I'm going to sell something that's actually got some profit margins that I can put what makes me special. And what you need to do is first, you got to believe in you. Because that's where that attitude comes from. You're like, hey, let's go sell a lot of these things. And man, I dig it. But you don't ever want to sell a lot of those things, because that's meaning that, number one, you're doing a lot of work and you're doing a lot of the same work. People who do a lot of these things, they just template everything up. And that's at least one of the things that we stand so far against. So it's like, if you really want to do a good job for somebody, at least the way that I think about it is, you're not paying me for my time.
Right.
You're paying me for my creativity, and you are paying me for my effort. You are paying me to make sure that I don't have other clients on the schedule that are taking time away from you. You're paying me to make sure that when you call me at 8 o'clock at night, I answer. That's what they're paying you for. They're paying you because you are special and what you do is unique, and nobody else is going to do it for you. If you keep selling time, you're going to sell a lot of your time. I've sold a lot of my time in my life, bro. And let me tell you, it sucks. So focus on selling that value, focus on selling who you are and what makes you special, and the rest will follow. I learned that from this guy. Literally,
he is amazing.
And I learned it from experience, because like, here's the thing. Here's these nitwits will come in and say, you know, hey, can you do this cheaper? Oh, well, no, you know. And well, you know, I can throw a lot more work. You know, if you'll do this cheaper for me, then I stand to bring you a lot more work. Here's the question: why in the hell would I want a bunch of cheap work?
Right.
Oh, goody. So I work dirt cheap and let me, you know, use as you know, minimum wage labor to do the work that somebody should be getting paid 100 times that for, just so you can load me up with more work and make me miserable. I have been down that path. Look, I have had clients call me at 11:30 on a Saturday night because they got some friggin' idea about what they wanted to change in some damn opt-in page, and there's absolutely no reason. Could not have waited until Monday friggin' morning. But you know what? That's how disrespectful people get when you start letting them get away with that shit. So it's why you have to put your friggin' flag in the sand now. Build your expertise and don't put up with that crap. Don't waste 6+ years of your life like I did letting people run over you.
For real, man. Like I got to watch this guy get ran over for 6 years. I've got ran over for a couple years on my own, and it's not the way to do it. Like, it's true experts are the people who you go to for them. And they are who they are. That is all that matters. That's why we all love Lee, because Lee is just Lee. He doesn't have to bend to push out copy in an hour. It's done when it's done, you know? So make sure that like that mentality, that mindset is the most important thing that you can ever learn from someone like Lee, because without that one skill, I would still be pushing like $500 websites.
Okay.
And still have.
Well, Matt, I can say one thing. You know, people do say that whenever you need guidance, look up. Now I know it's Lee and Alex.
Hey. And when we need guidance, we look up too. And we've got awesome people in our lives. And that's the thing that they don't tell you, man, is that like no one that you ever see
No, that's the wrong one.
sitting on a platform got there on themselves. No one. They all have the best team around them that they possibly could. They all have the best leaders around them that they can look up to. I learned nothing about leadership on my own. Absolutely not a damn thing. I have learned everything about leadership, at least in the last 6 months, from the guys over at RIS and from the people like Lee, from the people like Matthew. Like you have these wonderful people in your life, and they're the ones who push you higher. It's not anything other than that. It's a constant up level, and you're always going to have that person. And if you don't have somebody above you, then that means there's a giant turd from the sky about to fall on you, because you need to keep on getting better. You need to keep on having better people. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there in one spot and simmer like a hot turd in a car. You know? And that was straight from one of the email campaigns that you wrote, Lee. But
was it really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could smell a lie like a hot fart in a hot car.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Toward Alex's point about that, always having somebody above you, my advice to people that ask me, especially in your age range, the shop, like how this works and how do you get there and how do you become that expert that isn't trying to put out 10,000 pieces of material at 4 cents each. And it's this, literally always have somebody that's a mentor and
Okay.
a mentee to you. You want somebody above you and somebody below.
Uh-huh.
Because the best way to learn is when you teach. That's been my experience in life.
Mhm.
Some of the biggest lessons I've learned in life, I've learned through teaching somebody else.
Yep.
And it also continues the flow of knowledge. So and that's
Yes.
how we create a better world with more people in it with a good hand on it. Is we're absorbing that knowledge from the top and we're giving back into the system by sharing that knowledge with somebody else.
Right.
And it teaches you humility too, which is very important. You get to be humble in the fact that you know what's going to happen when you're teaching somebody? You're going to find out you don't know it all.
Exactly.
You're not going to be able to answer all their questions.
Yeah.
You're going to be
Yeah.
so stumped. You're like, what?
But that's great because they come up with the questions that you
Exactly.
never thought to ask someone. So then
Bingo.
you get to go to your
Yeah.
mentor and go, hey, how does this work? And now their
Mhm.
question has empowered both of you with knowledge. Or
And
maybe
then the whole ladder
because
lifts.
that's got to go up the chain because he didn't have
Yep.
the answer either. Yep.
Nishant, were you in my first Loud and Clear program?
No, I was
No?
not.
Okay, so I literally woke up one day. It was like on a Monday, and I'm just like, you know what? By this weekend, I'm putting together a group coaching program, and we're launching it this Saturday. Screw it. And I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I knew that the only way I was going to learn how to do it was by doing it. And so I got a beta group together. We had 7 or 8 people in that first group.
Yeah, it was actually quite a few.
I had
Because I remember going into the
no
Zoom
effing
meeting.
idea what I was doing other than just, I mean, like I'd be up like 4 in the morning making slides and still making slides up till go time. I think it was we were doing like 10 or 11 in the morning, and it was a really good learning experience. I mean, the people got a lot out of it, but I got so much out of it just from just throwing myself into it and going, I'll figure it out.
Yes.
And I think that if you don't go in with this there's a difference between mastery and being an expert.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't want to split hairs about that. There's a lot of people calling themselves experts, but you can have mastery without calling yourself an expert, and that's kind of like where I prefer to hover. And that can get you through those things. And that's the sort of thing that sells very, very easily.
Okay, so gain mastery and then practice it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Practice to gain mastery.
Yeah. It's a cycle.
Mhm.
Because you're going to see iterative success, but you're not going to see it in a vacuum. You're not going to see it in a course. You're not going to see it in somebody's freaking templates. Don't get me started with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only thing templates do is limit your creativity.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like drawing on a blank piece of paper versus being hand a picture of a bunny rabbit and saying color in the lines.
Right.
I mean, the result is still that both pieces of paper could have a bunny rabbit on it, but only one piece of paper do you get to make the choice what's going to be on that paper. And when you have a template, you don't have that.
What happens when you get a client who comes over, a prospective client who says, you know what, I really would like a gopher. Can you color me in a gopher? You don't know how to do that.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Just rabbits. Sorry, I only do rabbits.
Yep. And you're going to give
Yep.
them the same
No
rabbit.
chinchillas, no squirrels, no geckos.
You see that a lot, especially like in my industry in tech. And I'm sure you do too, Lee. But all the time, it's just the same WordPress themes, and it's like, oh, this is a custom theme. And when I think a custom thing, I'm like, oh, cool, you built this all in PHP, that's super dope. Nah, these guys are like, we just installed a custom theme.
Yeah.
You clicked around a couple of times, found something that looked pretty, and now you can't do literally, and then you can't do anything. And a client asks you for changes. Oh, can we make that with a little phone icon in the top instead of it just being the number? And you're like, no, that's not possible. And then they talk to somebody like me, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's possible. Why did they do it like this? This is disgusting. And now we've got to rip it out and do it again. And so it's like you not taking that effort to understand why you're doing it in the first place.
Right.
That's what holds you back, and that's what we
Sure.
really hate about the templates.
Yeah. I get the logo designers all the time. That's what always comes in my PM here on LinkedIn, especially is the logo designers. Everybody's just like, "Hey, can I sell you a logo?" And I'm like, "No, I really need like some video editing done. No, I can only do logos. Well, what about graphics for Facebook? No, I can only do logos." It's like, okay, well, what do you think I need? Well, maybe I can change your logo, and I am like totally.
You can have my logo when you fly it from my cold dead hands, jackass.
Let's take this branded company, change their logo. Why? Because you make logos.
I don't need a logo. Go away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
definitely. So, yes, expertise and mastery, and there are people, digital marketing agencies are great if they have overflow work, because sometimes they do have people on staff who can actually help you learn as you're going. And of course, there's a weird bow-tied bald guy who teaches copywriting too, so you can always hang out with him if you want. But learn that craft, and there's kind of a certain get paid as you learn aspect, because the more you learn, the more you can get paid. But you're not going to learn it in a textbook. You're not going to learn it in a course. You're going to learn it doing real world copy.
oh yeah,
Finding out if it works or not. Because what works in the copywriting communities, what those nitwits fawn over each other about over in the copywriting community, doesn't really necessarily work in the real world. It looks pretty. It impresses other copywriters.
other
but
copywriters.
Other copywriters. But you put that copy in the real world, and only the dimmest of the dim are going to fall for it.
Right.
Because it's something that worked 40 or 50 years ago.
Client, on that note, client once tried to tell me that you want to do Facebook ads for this event that they were launching, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, that's a pretty good strategy. And then she's like, oh, well, I've been working with these people that have this ad that's phenomenal. It's made like millions of dollars. And I'm like, okay, you got an ad on Facebook that's made millions of dollars. You spent a lot of money on running this ad, obviously. I'm curious. So I send it to me. It's like, you guys remember in like 2004 when there were just these like in pictures, there were just big red boxes, like it was just this huge like dumb call outs, and it would be like, it was this guy who was just like thumbs up with an arrow like pointing over, like hand point, like I would do to Lee, and smiling like and there's a big red box around him with like an arrow pointing over. It's like, click here. And this girl's like, this is the best thing ever. I talked to these guys. I can't believe I got on the phone with them, and they told me that it made them so many millions of dollars. It was wonderful. Can you do that? And it's like, I mean, I can do that if I didn't care about you. Like, you're going to run into a lot of stuff where people are like, oh, this is the way. This works. And you're like, okay, I mean, I'm sure that worked for you, but what about making it work better? How could we do that? And so remaining committed to that and understanding that you're going to have to deal with a lot of that too, it's going to come in handy.
Wow. That's nice.
I love funny clients. People are really interesting.
I can only imagine. I've heard a lot that your first client is always going to be the actual pain. Your first 10 clients are going to be the difficult thing, because you have no idea how to start. So that is exactly where I am.
How many clients have you had so far?
0.
How many people have you talked to about becoming a potential client?
50.
Why do they say no?
One, because they think I'm too young. 2, I do not have any.
Let's unpack them as we go. They think you're too young. Why do they know your age? Do you know how old I am?
Because you're around 27, 28.
I'm 24. I started my business at 21. I know where you've been. There's a reason why I don't tell people my age. It's because I get the same thing. Oh, you're young. Very cool. I also have a multi-million-dollar website portfolio that you don't. So I guess age isn't really that much of a number as much as it is a bitch, huh? So
Yeah.
don't let anyone say anything about your age, dog. Your age does not define anything except for how many years you've had to be on Earth and get clients. Sure, I'm sure you've had way more clients than me when you're 48, 50 years old. You should. I'm not trying to play that. I'm just trying to learn like everybody else. Never, first of all, anybody ever gives you shit about your age, you fire that fucking client. And you can say that's from Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Don't kiss
you know,
my ass, too.
don't even bring it up to begin with. But fire them, tell them to kiss your ass, and the next time that you go to that conversation, if somebody does ask your age, it's like old enough to help you out, old enough to know what I'm doing.
Right.
Why do you ask? How old do you think I am? That's my favorite question ever to ask. How old do you think I am? Wow, you're great at guessing. I didn't tell you my age. I just said, congratulations, you're wonderful. And everybody loves a little stroke on the ego. So that's how you handle that. Don't let anybody give you shit. All right, next. What other reasons have they said no?
Just to back that up real quick before you answer that, is the first time I got called 40 years old, I was 20. It's a lot about how you carry yourself. So if you're going in wide-eyed and hopeful, then you don't have the experience. You haven't
Right.
helped other people, and I don't believe in you or your ability to service me. So carry yourself stronger. I know I can do this for you, and prepare yourself so that you can. And
Yes.
the age thing literally won't be a question. But go ahead. What is the other reason they say no? The next reason they say no?
I'm not able to figure out the reason, but I have noticed that they are like uninterested, even though they were initially interested, and it literally is something that is very useful for them.
So who said it's useful for them or you?
I have been in their shoes, so I know. Like
You don't
it
know,
is.
but so you do know. You know, but they don't know. So there, if they are saying they don't need it, if they think they don't need it, then you haven't done a good enough job getting to their pain point.
Mhm.
So somebody needing copywriting, tell me why. Why does somebody need copy? Tell me, why do I need copy for my business, Deshaun?
You cannot just get on a call with everyone, and anyone who will get on a call with you will first read about you. And
Not
there,
necessarily. I built my business without a website, cold calling the entire Hamilton, Ohio business directory, and I got 2 clients off of it. I didn't have a website.
so
Try again.
that is, and then you didn't need one.
I'm helping you work through this. I promise there's an answer here. Okay, so
Sure.
if you're so you do need content. You're right. Most people are gonna look you up. But let's say I don't have a website. Whatever. Why do I need copy for my business? What is copy? What do you do?
Okay. From my understanding, a copy is some sentences that actually can resonate with your client, like client's buyers, as per Lee, and when they resonate with with our client, so there is this connection between them, and when it hits their pain points and they know it, that is when they will come to our client and buy.
So I need you to give me 10 words or less. You've got 10. What is
Uh-huh.
copywriting?
Okay.
You're gonna have to condense it way down because somebody like me,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna listen to that long of a sentence. It's nothing
Okay.
personal. It's just simply I'm gonna lose
Yeah.
focus. So one,
Okay.
give me a real quick punch. What's copywriting?
Copywriting connects you to your buyers and their pain points.
Beautiful. Write that down.
Damn.
Write it down. That is
I've got
beautiful.
a
You are
sound effect
wonderful.
here for that
Good job.
somewhere.
Or does that deserves a Yosemite Sam? We got this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Way to go, Nishant.
Ow! My biscuits are burning! Fire in the hatch!
Woohoo!
Yes, it connects
Wow.
you. Connects you to your buyers. Copywriting, and I mean this is Lee's territory, but from what I've learned from him, that's how you get connected. That's how you can communicate that you know what they're feeling, what their pain points are, what they're experiencing, why they should buy from you, because buying is an emotional decision. So anybody who doesn't need that copywriter doesn't need to connect with their clients. All you're doing is you are offering to build them words that help them connect. I will help you reach your customers, understand what they're saying, sell more of your product.
Okay.
Every business needs that. So now the question is, how do you talk to that person so that it's their idea that they need a copywriter? Because that's the trick. You're never going to be able to convince somebody that they have a problem. You are, however, going to be able to lead somebody into realizing they have a problem. So you're talking to this person and you know they need a copywriter, but they don't know you need a copywriter. What kind of questions can you ask them to get more information about their business that would allow you to have that discussion about selling more or connecting with their clients? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Uh, I would ask, okay, tell me, who do you think would your ideal client be? Okay,
Good. Who's your ideal client? Okay. What's another one?
yeah. As Lee mentioned, your uh, buyer's 3 a.m. thoughts.
Okay. 3 a.m. thoughts. Excellent. What's another one?
Um, okay, why should they come to you?
Beautiful. Market
Ooh.
differentiation. Ding, ding, ding. What's another one?
Okay, what will they get out of it at the end of your service?
Boom.
What is it they are getting?
Results. Dude,
Fire.
you're killing it. There's really no definite number to these, but can you do one more?
Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Why should your client trust you?
Why should your client trust you?
Trust. And trust,
Perfect.
trust leads into, you know
Trust
this
leads
one.
into sales.
Huh?
Trust leads into the sales.
Okay. I'll give you this one. Trust leads to loyalty.
Bingo.
Okay.
And loyalty
Trust
leads
leads
to repeat business and referrals. Simple
Yes.
as that. Finish it up. I just thought I'd bring it home for you.
That freaking great job, Nishant.
Good.
First of all,
Good.
I'm
So why
literally
the hell-
blown away.
So why
Yep.
the hell are you not out working for clients?
Right.
That's
All of
exactly
your
my question.
excuses so far have just
Because these are the things that when you're talking to somebody, that's what you need to be talking about. You need to understand them because they're never going to just go look for it. Well, they might look for a copywriter. You'll get those conversations later, but they're not looking for a copywriter right now. You need to show that you understand their business so that you can speak from a position of authority on how you can help them. So once you understand their business, you ask them those questions. And you know what's going on. You know what their product is that's different. You know why people should be trusting them. You know what the end result's going to be. You actually have a picture of what this business does. That's when you can ask the question of, how are you selling? How do you sell your products? What sort of channels do you use? So are they on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Twitter? Are they on YouTube? Are they doing videos? Are they posting photos? Are they doing ads in the local newspaper? Are they running brochures? All of these things I just mentioned, Nishant, that's copywriting. You can do any of those. So when you're talking to this person and you know what their product is and you know how they're advertising, then what you can do is you can say, awesome. So it seems like you concentrate a lot on Facebook to sell your product. Your customers know you. They are going to get this out of it. You've got this thing that makes you special. So what if we were able to connect them more? What would that look like for your business? What would it look like at the next level when your customers are reaching out to you on Facebook instead of you having to do all of this, advertising or all of these posts every
Prospecting
day?
and cold calls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Prospecting and cold calls. So when you know what that is and they're like, oh, it would look great. I wouldn't have to do these posts anymore. I would, be more concerned on my selling and I would be able to go out this. Maybe I'd get a team member. See, now you're a pivotal part of this conversation because you're the guy that just opened the door to what's possible for them.
yes.
So once you've done all of that stuff, and I know it seems like, oh, crap, this is a long conversation, but I promise you can do it in like 10 minutes, man. Once you get good at it, practice, and you'll become a master at it in no time. But you do that, and then the conversation is, how can I serve you? I think we can do some great copy on this. I would love to see what it looks like on Facebook. If we get in there, really understand and connect in with your buyers, find out what's going on, and then get them with an offer that they can't refuse. And you'd have to be a moron to say no to that. The cost isn't like the cost doesn't really come up in any of that because the cost doesn't matter when you're giving them value and you're building value in their service. You're making it more valuable than them. When you do your job right, you're making them more money than they're ever going to pay you.
Yeah, true that.
So the cost doesn't matter in this equation.
Right.
And you do it like that, you're going to talk to 5 people and you'll have a sale. You don't need to talk to 50 of them. You really don't. You just need to concentrate one-on-one. Don't sell a shit ton of hotcakes. Bake your cake. Work with the client. Get to know them. Get to know what makes their business special. I want you to know that business inside and out when you're writing that copy. You come to me or Lee with any questions. And I'm volunteering you there, Lee. But you do that, man, you'll be good. That's all it takes. And you get that first client, you know what you do? You do right by them. You do your absolute best and then some. You sprint to the finish line. You keep going when you're having a tough time because that's setting you up for all those future accounts.
Right.
Every single person you work with is an opportunity for them to tell their friends.
Ask for referrals.
Ask for referrals and ask for reviews,
Absolutely.
testimonials.
Here's the thing. Business owners don't like to constantly onboard new copywriters or new anything. Okay?
No.
Most of them, I mean, most of them are like, if they find a copywriter that they can work with, that can deliver on time, that does the work that they want, you've got somebody for a long time. I have clients that I've worked with for 6 years or more. And it's sometimes it's off and on. It's just like, I'll see a lot of them for a couple months and then I won't see them again for a few months, and that's okay. But it doesn't take too many of those to build a full-time practice,
No.
And that's really one of your goals is like when you're doing the best job you can for them and getting them the results that they deserve instead of paying attention to impressing other copywriters out there, then they keep hiring you. You keep making money. Who gives a shit what they have to say about it?
Right. And don't try to impress other copywriters. If you're impressing people with your field, you're doing it wrong. Push the boundaries. People should hate you. I am the tech company's worst nightmare because I'm just like, no. So don't strive with them. They're not important.
Oh my goodness. Hey, can we run through a few comments here? We've really been
We always can.
The comment field.
Oh, we have. Okay, so reading through a couple of
Can I go through one?
Yeah,
I love the one from Kevin McDowell. I had a $30 pancake at Ritz-Carlton once. They were just regular hotcakes.
They were regular
And I'm like,
hotcakes.
They were Ritz-Carlton hotcakes. That's what you were buying. You paid $30 for the Ritz-Carlton name, and that's a brand.
I had chicken and waffles at some place in Vegas. It was upwards of that. It was probably in that range. What the heck was that place? Hash House A Go-Go in Vegas, man. Oh my God! Yes, the heartburn and other things that came after that were just absolutely horrendous, and there was no way I could even make a dent in it. But why go hotcakes when you could go chicken and waffles? It just really wreck your stomach.
wow. I actually had similar experience with Starbucks. Okay,
Starbucks?
the first time I went to Starbucks, I was like 16 or 17. And the coffee I had was 20 times the coffee I would have had outside.
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
So
dude! Holy crap!
That
Were
was
you just wired?
That had to be one hell of a caffeine buzz. Wow.
So outside I could have taken it for like I don't know, 3 cents. Starbucks coffee was like $3.
Oh my god.
Wait, you could have gotten coffee for like 3 cents?
1.5, 2 cents, yeah. Like
Wow!
in India, it's that cheap.
Wow! That's incredible, man.
It gets close to that cheap if you make it yourself at home here.
Oh yeah,
Fair
if you're
point.
capitalist enough to source it. Yeah.
Matthew's been lurking for most of the episode, it seems. What are you up to over there?
Me? Just
Yeah,
being
you.
a bearded bald guy. Just chilling.
You're not quite
You
bald.
have-
Getting there.
I just like my mom was so fussed about my beard. I had at least 2-inch long beard, and she just took a shaver and like destroyed it.
Not anymore.
And I was like,
Wow.
okay, I'll cry later.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
If it makes you feel better, that's what makes them grow back faster. I actually could not grow a beard until I was well into my late 30s, mid to late 30s.
I still can't
I
grow a
used to have
beard.
a really nice handlebar mustache, though.
I could do like side chops. That's about it, bro.
I could touch my eyes with it. It was beautiful. I loved
That's
it.
incredible. Like Salvador Dali style almost.
Straight. Oh, it's terrible.
Wow.
Terrible.
Awesome. Hey, so we got Chris Power Gomez, I think, wants to fight. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Let's
there,
talk about the
but-
things a personal brand forgot. The brand.
Yeah.
Da-da.
Yeah, but he says
How does it-
Lee really says he's so tough.
I don't think Lee thinks he's tough. Just the opposite. We all just know he's tough.
Right.
I mean, you like that's the thing. You don't really look at a guy like you buff guys like I'm so tough. It's like no, man. You just look at him. You're like, you probably squat a lot. I don't think I'd want to get into a fight with you. I'll be good.
Lee is too wise to want to fight with. He's one of those who would wave the one hand, and all of a sudden you're in a crippled little pretzel somehow, and you're like, "Oh, how did that happen?"
You won't get that close. You won't get that close. He'll kill you with his duck.
Nobody bullies the bald guy.
Yeah,
I love
I
it.
prefer my man behind the curtain sort of existence, so we don't have to worry too much about any of that. Unless there are assassins or whatever it comes in which case
There can always be ninjas, Lee. That is the one thing I learned as a gamer. There can always be ninjas. I walk through my entire life. Every time I walk through a doorway, I do so with the expectation that there may be ninjas.
Okay, gotcha. Wow, Hannah's here. What's going on? A different kind of water bottle today. See, well, yeah, this is coffee, and this is actually water. It's damn hard to find a purple lidded coffee cup. I don't know why, but just nobody seems to want to make them in purple. So if you find one, let me know because I want to slap my logo on it so I can be all smug and go, look at me with my logoed coffee cup. I know. Screw you, Alex.
So today, I think tonight has a guy for that.
I've got people for that too, dude. How do you think I got mine made?
I'm waiting to see designs here, people. You keep telling me that, and I'm like waiting to see design. You got T-shirts and color changing bearings and ducks and bears and platypus.
Yeah, dog.
God only knows what else.
Lots of stuff going on.
Love
I
that.
need another designer, by the way. I need a designer, backend or full stack developer, designer, and a UI UX person, pretty much right now.
UI UX.
UI UX. I like UI UX, but like really good UI UX.
Yep.
Alex, you want me to search for someone in the Indian community? I do have a group for developers over here if you want.
I appreciate that. I've worked a lot with my company. I've had a lot of issues with outsourcing out of the US. And that's just mostly because of the same things that we all run into in regards to like different timelines, different times of the day available. Like it's 2:30 there, whereas it's 5:25 here. So that's it. I mean, I've worked with people from Ukraine, from the Philippines, from India, from Europe, from Australia, from like all over the world. And every time I outsource out of the US, I just end up having some difficulty with it. And also some contracts that, especially when you're working on like governmental projects, you're not allowed to outsource out of the US. So with the type of projects that we get involved with often, we do need that. And I need people who are able to travel. So international flight gets a bit expensive. But I very much appreciate that, brother. It's just, man, it's one of those things. It's tough. Outsourcing, finding people, building teams. I think it's my least favorite part. But
I haven't worked a lot in tech only for like 5 or 6 months. That was during the breaks between my college. So after my bachelor's, I got into master's MBA immediately.
Very cool. What do you have your bachelor's in?
Computers, software
Very
development.
cool. Software development. Do you have a favorite tech stack or a language?
I worked with Java, Hibernate, Stack. Now I'm really like, if I get time, I'll get into Mern Stack. Maybe.
Okay. Okay. Not bad. Very not bad. That's cool, man. I like Java. JS is a lot of fun. We do a lot of stuff with like Gatsby. Gatsby JS is a pretty fun JavaScript framework just because you can
Yeah.
write it in JavaScript, and when you compile it, it'll compile in semantic HTML and CSS. So it makes life a lot easier. You can basically build responsive websites straight out of just like JavaScript. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like over here, I have much more exposure with the React and Node.js.
React
So
is fun. That's what
yeah,
React and Node is what we built our API in.
yeah, that's
Node's
real.
cool. We can talk tech all day. Everyone watching is like, what are you guys talking about?
No, Hannah's more concerned with my coffee cup.
Yeah, I know.
So,
She
it's
literally
like,
dropped that link too, so you can just go
yeah. So
buy a
I'm
coffee
back. I'll
cup
have to
link,
go.
Lee.
Okay, I'll have to swing by and pick that back up on LinkedIn. I can't seem to do anything with it here in stream here, obviously. That's awesome. So good.
Hey, okay, guys. Actually, I did mention earlier that I am starting up with a podcast.
Yeah, how's that
Yeah.
going?
Yeah.
Were you able to get things set up in Streamlabs OBS?
Streamlabs OBS is I'm working with it because, as you mentioned, having two like I will be having guests. It's not gonna be just me. It's more like interview podcast, and it is on relationships. So I'm trying to gather, as much knowledge as I can. So I'm
Okay.
like, okay.
So what's your setup
but-
so far? So you're right here, for example, like you're doing good. You've got your video, audio, both sound good. So you could do a stream even like that. So
Uh-huh.
like what questions you have or like setup questions that we could help answer? Because Matthew, by the way, this is the Infinity Streamer guy. He's kind of like when it comes to knowing streamers, he's the one. I'm like good with the tech, but he's good with the
Wow,
like the
you
relational
rock.
side of things.
Okay.
So yeah, what you got going on, brother? How can we help you out
So
with that?
okay, my podcast is gonna be about relationships practically.
Okay.
What do you think of it? What are your learnings? Like all the wisdom you guys just poured out, that was so profound. So yeah, what are your experiences like? I don't know. Did you guys how many relationships were you guys into? Why did you get into it?
You don't always want to ask people that because when you start talking about body count, dog, you're gonna have some real varied answers, and we're gonna get to know some entrepreneurs way too well.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
There's some different ways to go about that, and that was kind of sort of what I do with Lee After Dark. I want to say did, but people keep signing up for it, so I guess it's still due. Matthew, I know you asked about that. That's leeafterdark.com. Just another little thing I do. So the premise of that thing is you get 20 minutes to talk about anything but your business. So it doesn't really matter. As long as you don't talk about your current business, I don't give a shit. People have talked about kite surfing off the coast of Morocco, growing up with schizophrenic parents, all kinds of crazy stories. And they just get 20 minutes. And then after that, they get 5 minutes to talk about the usual, here's what my business is, here's where you can get a hold of me, here's my offer, blah, blah, blah. But everybody, the thing is just they're not talking about just their usual pitch. So interesting things like that get people out of that same mentality. Because
Yes.
what you don't want to do is put the work into putting a podcast out there and then have it look exactly like everybody else's.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
if
those.
you're going deeper, what you've learned, and what you talked about when we were going into Alex's questions about copywriting, those same things, that curiosity should drive your podcast too. However you refine that, it should be about that curiosity of what's really going on in your guest's world and in the tech world. However, whatever world you dive into, just be curious.
Oh yeah, just ask questions. That's all you gotta do.
Of course. Okay. So I get a lot into spirituality world, figuring out what all things are there, what different perspectives are there to world. And I recently, I've done more meditation in last 1 year than I have in previous 21 years before that. So that is something okay. Let's explore that.
Okay.
I can
So-
talk about yeah.
So with your podcast, What do you
Yeah.
need help with? Do you need help with like the topics, the setup in terms of like how to get it out there, or like the technical side of what equipment do I need or software do I need?
Uh, a bit of everything. I
Bit of
have
everything.
a I have a list of questions that I can ask. I
Okay.
would love to have some add-ons to it because not every person would be same. Not every
Right.
question will be relevant to everyone. Apart from that, the setup. What do you suggest if I go with a Zoom call
Uh-huh.
at first and record that?
So if you're going
Because
with a Zoom call, you can, there are two options. Do you want to
uh-huh.
stream live or do you want to
No,
record and stream a playback?
just record it.
Just record it? Okay. So
Yeah.
if you're just recording, then Zoom is completely fine and you need to do nothing else. All you have to do is you have your Zoom call, you get somebody in
Uh-huh.
the Zoom call, you make absolutely 100 million percent sure that's being recorded, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the call is over and you made
Yeah.
sure that it's recorded, you have your recording to download. That'll be an MP4. And then you can take
Uh-huh.
that MP4 and you can upload it. So you can upload that to YouTube if you want to add it into a YouTube video. And then if you want to add it, where else did you plan on putting it? Have you, now when you say a podcast, I take it that this also has a video element. Are you going to be putting it on like voice only podcast programs, like say a Spotify, or is this going to be just kind of something that you're putting on YouTube and maybe your LinkedIn profile, things like that for the time being?
Actually, that is where I am trying to get it a bit more interesting. I'll be putting it on Spotify and Google Podcasts.
Okay,
I will be putting it on YouTube, and I will be extracting snippets for
good.
Instagram and Facebook.
Good. Okay, that's what I like to hear. Do you know how to get them onto all of those different platforms?
Uh,
Okay,
except
good.
for Google Podcasts.
Okay,
Like there is something I'm not yet clear with. Some RSS feed stuff that I'll
right.
get through.
You don't you have the you do you have an RSS set up for Spotify already?
No, I do not understand RSS thing, but when I searched for Spotify, it just said that you can sign up immediately and start uploading.
Okay.
I
Get with
know.
me after the show and we'll talk RSS. I can help you out with that.
Oh, thanks a lot.
But yeah, so I got you. That's why I asked that. Sorry, Lee. What was that?
Oh no, I know it might be a little simplistic, for your taste, Alex. But I'm actually a fan of Anchor FM for just the audio only because of the ease of distribution to other channels. So
I mean,
Anchor FM allows you to go to Google Podcasts and Anchor, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Pocket Rocket, whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
man, if
Anchor
that's
FM.
yep, just go here. I'll drop the link in here, Nishant. Since you're in the chat there. And guys, for everybody out there watching, we will go ahead and drop that in the banner. So this is the website that we recommend. It is anchor.fm. Thank you, Lee Rowley.
Yeah.
From what we can see, I mean, it's just a really, really straightforward and relatively free solution. So for those of you who do not want to deal with the complexities of an RSS feed or distributing audio or video anywhere yourself, use the software. It's not going to hurt anybody's feelings.
It's pretty well leak-proof, so if you're not a tech person, it's definitely something. That's how I kind of break the barometer. If I can figure it out, you're safe.
Lee,
so
you're pretty good at figuring things out, though. You like, I've worked with people who can't figure out Excel, like who can't push a button in Excel, like a picture button that says push me.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I'm getting into trauma now.
So you got Anchor FM. That's gonna help you with your RSS. That'll help you with distributing it. You've got your do you know how to edit videos? You have your snippets, and you know how to get those and set those up and everything.
I'll probably start to working with Blender because I have done some basic animation stuff with Blender.
Okay.
What do you suggest? What do you suggest?
I use Adobe Premiere Pro, so I'm not a fair one to ask about that because that's a paid subscription. But that's
Yeah.
also because I do a lot of stuff with both Photoshop and Illustrator and Premiere Pro. Media Encoder is actually one of like the most valuable things that there is in the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. For those of you who don't know, that lets you encode video and audio. So super, super useful. But that's what I use. I don't really know a whole lot about the free programs, to be honest with you. But I don't know if anybody out there in the audience has any recommendations. Shout them out in the comments.
Well, I actually even tried going with Maya for animation, but I don't know. I found Blender much more easy to use.
Whatever
So,
you're comfortable with. I mean, if you're comfortable with it and it gives you the right type of file, use that.
yeah.
And then if it starts to not work for you, that's when you shop around for a new software. Because it's kind of like what Lee was saying with the course. Get something out as quickly as you can so that you have it
Uh-huh.
out there, and then work on making it better. So roll with Blender. You're cool with that. Roll with Anchor. That'll make things a lot easier. You've got your setup right now. Do you have a webcam camera? Are you using a camera? Or how do you have your video being transmitted?
Okay, it's a separate webcam camera by Logitech.
Good. Perfect. Then you're
Okay.
good there. So you have a
922.
separate webcam.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a separate webcam, and this webcam has a mic and speaker, so that mic is being used right now.
Really? Wow. I thought it was your headphones for sure. That's impressive, man. Your sound quality isn't crap. So very, very nice. So you got the hardware set up. So that's hardware, that's software. Then you got the guests. Guests you can just invite to Zoom. I mean, you'll obviously need an inbound guest strategy. Lee would be the one to ask about that. But other
Sure.
than that, I mean, you're pretty good. Like that's
Yeah.
that's a solid setup, man.
Thanks.
I just
I've
usually
been fretting
use
over it
LinkedIn.
since long. Actually, we have been in a permanent lockdown for around 2 months now in India. So no shops, nothing.
Oh wow. That's rough.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going on. I think it will live like you'll at least get the extra non-necessities delivered now. But that's just a day or two ago.
Well, at least you have all the equipment already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I did not realize that we have made it to 540, which is, I believe, a first on BowtieUP Live, right?
Something like
Wow.
that. Yeah.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
We were like 15 minutes late and 20 minutes over.
Hey, we don't stop.
I
a good
hope I didn't bore
conversation.
you all out, like
Oh, no,
all
absolutely.
three of you and the audience.
It
I
is
really-
free for all Friday.
It is.
It's
a
I
free
really
for all,
enjoyed the
guys. There
questions.
are
It's
no
been a great
rules.
discussion, and
Yes.
and Chris, thank you for hanging out with us, and Hannah, Carla, Sophia, everybody who's hanging out here. Thank you for hanging out and then just joining
Because
us.
I can still throw in some good
Cool.
questions. I still
Okay.
have some, waiting here.
PM me. I got you. Well, I'll even go over them live on the show.
Join us for the next Free for All Friday, next Friday on BowtieUP Live, Nishan.
Was that
That's
your
what I
cue
suggest.
to?
For
Yeah, that's a
thing
good
is,
idea.
Yes, let's do that.
I love
So, Nishant, you've seen a lot of final thoughts, but you've never done them yourself. You all know how it goes, but for everybody out in the audience, we are moving on to final thoughts. Final thoughts is really cool because you get 30 seconds, a minute and a half, or really however long you like, to go on center screen with your final thoughts for the day that you could leave you, our wonderful audience members, with. Matthew started out as our honored guest, but Nishant is the first one jumping in for Free for All Friday. I believe that does move you up the priority list. To start with you, we'll put you on center screen. Here we go. Good luck.
Thanks for giving me the first go. I'm- okay, see, what I love today is one, that in relationships, you should know where you set your boundaries. In your professional life, you should have someone above you and someone below you. That was really, insightful. And the fact that, yeah, first know your value, how to get to your clients. That's thanks a lot, Alex and Lee, for that. And Matthew, you guys really nailed it. Thanks.
Thank you, Nishant. Honestly, it was great to have you on the show. Like literally, Lee and I are at the point now where we're sick of working with clients, and we love working with people who want to know, man.
Wow.
So this is fun for us. No worries. Matthew, brother, as the first joiner today,
Nope.
joining about 5 minutes before I asked. Here you are.
Oh, no problem, brother. You know I'm always happy to jump on the show. It turned out wonderful, and a lot of that was because of Nishant. And so my final thoughts are going to be around Nishant and his actions. So take those chances, take those risks. Don't be afraid. Don't let hesitation stop you. Nishant saw a link. He's been a fan of the show for a while. I love his comments. and he saw a link and said, you know what? This is my opportunity. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to click this link. Maybe they're going to put me on that show. And you know what? They did. They put him on the show, and the shot wasted no time at all. And he started asking those questions, and he started getting right down to it. And he's shined. He has the ability. So the whole point of my final thoughts is to take that chance and to go out there and be ready and prepared so that when opportunity presents itself like that, he could have had no idea that there would be a free-for-all Friday. It's the first one. Never. Who shares their StreamYard link in the comments? But he was ready and he was prepared. And when opportunity presented itself, he was not scared. He seized it, he ran for it, and now look what happened.
Vinny VDVC, as they say. I came, I saw, and I conquered.
Well, thanks to you all for the opportunity.
Dude, anytime. And mine, final thoughts, I'll just roll off of what Matthew and Nishant have kind of been saying, guys. Like, honestly, it was so much fun. And it was cool to hang out with all of you guys for around, I don't even know, maybe an hour or so. Hour and 10 minutes. Nishant, thank you so much for being part of the show. Matthew, thank you for being so available. Lee, as always, it's a pleasure. And the audience, y'all know you're my favorite. So rock on, and don't forget to be a better person today than you were yesterday. Sorry, not letting you off the hook for that one. Do something decent for another human being. Maybe you just reach out to somebody who you know is a little bit more junior than you and offer them some help. And you might get turned down because that can be kind of a slap in the face to anybody with an ego when somebody says, hey, I saw that, maybe you could use a little help with this. But use everything that you can find as an opportunity to continue to learn and better yourself. And eventually, you'll be the best person that you can be. That's all I got. Mr. Rowley, you get to leave us for the day.
Leave us for the day. Wow. Will the Lee puns never stop? No, they never will. Not as long as I'm around anyway. Well, what the heck? This is a great way to round up the week. I just decided this afternoon. I was like, okay, we don't have a guest scheduled. Let's see what happens if we make this a free-for-all. And so, Matthew, it's always a pleasure having you on. Nishant, man, I just really appreciate that you jumped on and just ran with it. That speaks volumes, and I want you to do that with your career too. Dang it! I mean, I know that you're pretty well caught up with copywriting. Releasing Module 6 this weekend, so no excuse not to have stuff to show people. Okay, I know you've been doing the work. You've showed me the work, so go show it to clients. This is what I'm learning. This is what I can do for you. This is what I can help you with. This is how I can serve you. Okay, you're not serving anybody continuing to take coursework and not doing anything with it. You're only doing people good if you're using what you learn. Okay, and that's you. That means your clients, and that means yourself and the people that you care about. Okay, you need to create that wealth for yourself. You need to create that wealth for your clients. Okay. Use that information that you're learning. Use those skills, okay? That's what I got.
Whoop, whoop.
Sure.
And that's all today for another episode.
Thanks a lot, guys.
BowtieUP Live. We will see you Monday at 4:19 and 59 seconds Eastern Standard Time. Be merry and be well.
Unicorns dancing on rainbows.